Hello and welcome to Rule of Thirds, a conversation about art, design and culture with your hosts
Burns,
Mike
and Jude.
If this is your first time listening, welcome to the family. Be sure to follow us on our Instagram at Rule of Thirds Pod. Don't be shy to say hi.
A question about the arts and the craft. If you didn't know, then it's good that you asked. You tune into the culture. Just the rule of thirds. If you want to, you could tune at work, yeah. And tell me, does that frame fit good? Does it feel right? You want to steal a photo for your website, but you want a logo we can design, right? Yeah.
Yes, guys. Yeah, this is our last episode of season 2. But we have a treat for you because we are joined by the amazing Dave Creates, who shares his insights and his latest project, Amor. Enjoy.
Good evening, good morning, and good afternoon, wherever you are. Is it? Well,
No, you're doing good. Continue.
Hey.
That was great.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Made me nervous now.
Sorry.
Welcome to the last episode of the Rule of Thirds of season 2.
What are we gonna say? Let's not speak it to existence, please.
Yeah, look,
We're doing more.
you said it. I didn't say
We're
it.
doing more.
I said 2.
Okay. But yeah,
Guys, don't be scared. Don't. We're just joking.
this is the last episode of the Rule of Thirds ever.
We're playing game. But on the topic of games, let's play a game.
Hey, okay.
And there may be a special voice in that game. Alright, so you guys.
God. No, I'm kidding. I'm joking. I kid. It's a joke.
The amount of things you're gonna answer to God for at the end.
Guys, if you saw the shock on our faces, God forgive.
Nah, they laughed. Anyway,
So I've got a question.
go on.
Who wrote or who performed, I should say, Are You Down? It's a what do you call it? Multiple choice, isn't it?
Okay. Well, go
A.
on.
Burns.
Why you say buzz?
B. Drake.
Mm.
C. Dave Creates.
It's a very heavy hitters. Oh, it's just 3. I thought it was gonna be 4.
No, it's 3.
Okay.
Maybe
You thought you were gonna be included in the list as well.
No, you know what? You're cheeky for that. I'm not gonna let that slide. I'm getting you back. Anyway. Okay. This is a very tough one. I think I'm gonna go with C.
C.
Yeah.
So Dave Creates.
Yeah.
Who do you have in the studio?
Was
Yeah.
that the fake scream?
Oh my gosh, I love your work.
Come on.
It's
Yeah.
a pleasure to be here, man.
Bruh, the man himself, you
Came
know.
with a
Yeah.
silky
Is it
voice.
smooth in that?
It's a pleasure to be here. But yeah, we have Dave Creates in the studio with us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Come on.
If you don't know, get to know.
Let's go.
Talented.
Let's go.
This is the first question I want to ask.
Yeah, go on.
Yeah,
Why did you stop doing poetry?
I never started doing
Oh.
poetry. It innovated, you know what I'm saying? It became something more
Optimus Prime transform.
no, on a real,
God, dude.
it's always gonna be a foundation to how I create. But I just fell more in love with making music. So it's there, but yeah, I've not given it up. It's just
Okay.
there, you know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Burns. Ali Pati.
Charizard. Here.
Say no more. Alright, we're gonna play He Wants to Be a Rule of Thirds.
Oh.
Okay.
Mad.
Copywriting and everything.
Yeah.
Which toys have been marketed with the phrase robots in disguise? A.
This is what you want me to do to me.
A. Brats.
Oh yeah, that must be that.
B. Sylvanian families.
What?
C. Hatchet animals. D. Transformers.
Wait, what's the question again?
Which toys have been marketed with the phrase robots in disguise?
Jude, please.
I know you can't get this wrong. You can't. No, you
I will
can't.
question this guy.
Okay,
if he
I'm gonna
gets
repeat.
it
I'm
wrong,
gonna repeat
bro.
the answers. A. Brats doors.
Wait,
Yeah.
no. My question is it robots in the skies?
In disguise.
or robots
in disguise.
in disguise?
Yeah, in disguise.
Okay. I just had to clarify. 'cause
So
my
A.
answer was almost brats. But anyway, yeah, go ahead.
A. Brats.
Mm.
B. Sylvanian families.
Mm.
C. Hatchet animals.
Hatchet animals.
I don't know what that is.
Okay.
And D. Transformers.
I think I want to go with Transformers.
That is the correct answer.
Okay, come on.
That
I was about to say, considering you like referenced it earlier as well.
For
Hey,
real,
look, yeah,
for
that would
real.
have been bad.
It was a guess.
Okay, Mr. Dave.
Let's go.
Which of these religious observances lasts for the shortest period of time during the calendar year?
Wow.
A.
Get this, yeah.
Ramadan. B. Diwali. C. Lent. D. Hanukkah. So again, I'll repeat the question. Which of these religious observances lasts for the shortest period of time during the calendar year? A. Ramadan. B. Diwali. C. Lent. Or D. Hanukkah.
All I know is that like Lent is like 40 days, right?
Yeah.
And the other ones,
Ramadan, Diwali, Hanukkah.
I feel like Hanukkah's like a day, isn't it like a day? Like,
I don't know. You tell me.
I'm gonna go for Hanukkah, yeah.
So I'll repeat the. This is a good year. Ramadan, Diwali, Lent, or Hanukkah.
Can we do like phone a friend or something
You
like
can do
that?
that if you want.
With a friend, what we call him?
Who do you want to call? You can call even Michael Jude.
Oh,
Wow.
he's got better. Like, who did better than RE at school? Like,
I mean,
Did I do Ari?
I don't want to show off.
Oh,
I mean, I do have a grade.
He's your
alright, let me
Yeah, pull him
let
up.
me call my man still. He's
I
saying,
don't know that. You shouldn't have called
You
me.
set him up.
You have wasted your credit. I'm not that guy. Not the guy. What's the question though? Oh my god.
Which of these religious observances lasts for the shortest period of time during the calendar year? Is it A. Ramadan, B. Diwali, C. Lent, or D. Hanukkah?
I'm trying to think because Ramadan is technically.
So,
I'm gonna have to press you for an answer.
I think I'm gonna go with Ramadan.
what?
nah, it can't be that. I don't think. That's like a couple of weeks.
So
That's a
you
couple
said
of
Ramadan.
weeks.
Yeah.
No,
Is
no,
that
no,
your
no,
is
no,
that your
no.
final
Nah,
answer?
that's-
You're joking.
My question is: is this the whole fasting period or just
So-
the?
You said. Is that your final answer?
I'm saying does this include the whole fasting period?
I'm pressing for an answer.
Questionnaire. Answer the question now. Does this include the fasting period? Yes or no?
I can't disclose.
Oh my god.
Wow.
Huh? Oh my god.
I think I'm gonna go with Lenten.
I would just like
Len.
to apologize to
Okay.
our Muslim community that's listening.
Yes. So guys, we have this final question to win.
Wait, was it correct?
Wait.
Who wants to be the ruler thirds?
Oh, is this the final question that we're just on?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
And Jude's.
No, Dave.
They phoned Jude
Yeah,
and Jude
yeah,
said,
yeah. Accountability, I love it.
yeah.
Bruh.
Okay. This
So
is
Dave said Lent.
This is to
yeah.
win. Who wants to be the ruler
Wow.
thirds?
Yep.
Yeah. Cool.
And if he doesn't win, that means we're always going to be 3 and not 4, right? That's
Wait,
the
so I
prize.
get to
I can reveal that the answer is Diwali.
I told you, Dave, that it was
Nah,
about.
you didn't tell me
and you told
nothing.
me I was wrong.
You didn't tell me nothing, man.
Where?
What mean?
Well,
Do
I
you know
should
the
ask
answer?
Mike instead.
I mean, Diwali is the festival of lights, and they celebrate it in evening, I believe.
Just one evening.
Yeah,
Is it?
the fireworks.
why didn't you tell me this when I asked?
I'm sorry.
Yeah, like-
you see, Jude was like, oh yeah, I got it. So I was like, he got it, and then he said he
Boy.
didn't have it. So I was like,
Boy,
I lied.
boy.
But yeah,
yeah.
Dave, it's nice to have you here.
It's good to be here, man.
How have you been this, I guess, past few months, especially after the EP release? Album release.
Album, man.
get it
Album,
right.
bro.
I beg your
Album, bro.
pardon.
No, you know why? Sometimes I just want to hear more of Dave. So sometimes even the album feels like short.
Wow.
I'm like, wow, I want
Good
more.
save, good
Wow.
save, good
So
save.
you
I
want
want more.
You want him to do a Chris
Ayo.
Brown and drop 50
What?
songs in
No,
an album?
allow me.
Still,
I don't know
Dave,
about 50.
Dave don't need 50 songs. He can
50
do-
might be a lot still.
That's a lot
Yes.
still.
If I listen to
Yeah.
50 songs in one album, I might as well just be dating you at that point. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
I'm hearing your voice that much. You know what I'm saying? I think you can keep that for your you know, for your
I'll keep
For your
Yeah.
Amor.
Oh, yeah. Hey.
I love it. I love it. I love it.
But yeah, how have you been?
I've been alright, man. Just been out here, you know.
Out here. Whoa.
Well, let me land. Let me land.
I got to check.
I've been working, creating, living life, trying to get a balance of everything, taking in the release, taking in life after the release. You know how it is as creators. It's like you've had something for so long and you finally give it out. And then it's like almost like, wow, what does life look like now that this create babies in the world? It's not mine anymore the same way it was before, which has been very interesting. And I took like a break after the project, like 6-7 weeks, not writing anything, just living life.
Yeah.
Which is really helpful because I think like when you go for so long of just in the same project is great, but you kind of have that tunnel vision.
Yeah.
And now to just finally be out, it's like, okay, right, I can see life now.
Yeah.
I can look at what how I've progressed over like the years of making music. How I've grown and stuff like that. And now I'm looking forward to what's ahead. And like, you know, life ain't easy. It's definitely been a challenge in like past month especially, but in context of the year, I'm like, okay, this is where I'm at. Let's reflect on that. So I'm in a very kind of pensive sort of mood, I'd say.
Creators love that way.
What's
Really
pensive?
pensive.
Just like introspective, thinking about my thoughts.
Bro.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I told you.
What's the pensive? This introspective.
So wait. So with your project here, especially because you're saying that you sat with it for like so long.
Yeah.
Do you get to a point where you hate something on there, even though you know it has to be on there and has to kind of you have to release it to the world, but you're like, oh, I really don't want to hear this ever again.
I can't lie. This project was probably the one where I listened to it so many times. If there was a Spotify Wrapped for my phone, every song on this project would be there. I listened to it on repeat so much, which I think was good because before it came out, I digested it. It sounds weird, but I'd taken it in so much. Literally, to where like now I don't listen to it as much, but it's like I know the effect it had on me.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't say I'm sick of it, but like I can listen to songs in a different light now. But because I sat with it probably like 2 years or more or so, creating the whole creative process. So
Right.
yeah, now I know I had that. I listened to that more than other music at the time. So now I can listen. Now I'm listening to like music in general now.
Right.
So oh, this is what music sounds like.
Like I've missed out on like 3 years or what.
You know what I'm saying? Obviously, I'm not like just in my own music. I always listen to stuff, but not as much at the time.
Was the way that you listen to music while you were making your project different to how you listen to it now? If that makes sense. Like, did you?
Yeah.
Were you like trying to? I don't know. Yeah.
I think before, so this project was very much like focusing on like making songs with like replay value. So starting off, you said about poetry. I started off, obviously, as you know, doing like spoken word and a lot of like writtens and stuff that was focused on lyrics, which is always going to be in my heart.
Yeah.
As I grew, I knew about song structure and what it is to make music that people want to play again. And this project, I really challenged myself. Like, let me make music that I feel has more of a replay value element. Hence, I kind of studied a bit more about melody and stuff like that. So in the lead up to the making the project, I wouldn't say I even knew I was doing it, but I just studied more about harmony, melody.
What do you used to study yourself?
Just like if I listen to something that I love them, you know, when you listen to something, it just pulls you. I just save it in like my harmony playlist or my melody playlist, my hook playlist, and then every once in a while, I'll just go through that playlist and just almost like take it in and listen for the patterns. So when it came to creating the songs on this project, I almost could tell how to make certain patterns, and I'm still learning in that sense, but that's kind of how I learned to create. Like, I listen to what I feel is great, and then I like try and create in that same kind of vibe. So when I was making the project, obviously it just created as I was living. It wasn't like I'm making an album, so I'm just making music. So it was just like I would hear certain beats, and I'm like, okay, this feels like I can create something on it. Not what I normally do, but let me try and create in a vein which I feel works. So even though I was getting into production again, I'll produce something, try and write, try and sing, try and just sit with it and stuff like that. So yeah, now I just listen to stuff and I'm more conscious to just enjoy it. Because you know it's crazy, it's easy to listen and try and dissect everything. I'm like, let me just listen and enjoy the vibes. But that's where I'm at right now, I'd say.
Okay, that's interesting. And at what point do you feel like the project went from a bunch of songs to, okay, now I feel like this is becoming, because the name of the project itself is very evident of the topic that runs through all the songs anyway. Yeah. But at what point, like, wow, I'm really in love, you know, like, all these songs are about one thing. Like, at what point do you get to that?
Yeah.
So I think with this project, for me, it's normally an interlude will kind of spark, okay, this is the glue.
I love your interludes, by the way.
Thank you, man.
God.
Cheers. I think the first one, I think I made Sunrise, even though that was not really about love per se, but it's like, that was like, oh, this has like a interlude feel. And then even the song Amor, actually, that was probably one song I made, and I was like, okay, this song needs to be in a project that kind of talks about this topic. And as I was growing in just my life and being even more vulnerable, because typically I've not been like super vulnerable in my music, I just become more brave about expressing certain things. So, and I think that Sweet Talk interlude, like the whole voice note thing, I was like, okay, this needs to be in a project. So I think having those things kind of was like, okay, let's do this. And I think over the past year, I was like, okay, I'm gonna do an EP, then I'm gonna do an album. You know how it's just like your brain's just everywhere. And then at one point I was just like, nah, let's do this project and let's take the step. But again, I was back and forth. I remember speaking to you about it, like, oh, I'm gonna do this, and I'm like, I don't know, I'm not too sure. So it's just all. I think at one point I was just there like, let's just do it, and it took a while. You know how it is as creators, like there's a lot of fear, a lot of insecurity, which I think I got over at a point, but it took a while. So yeah, man, I don't know, somewhere in the journey.
Question. So you as an artist, like, I think what draws me to your music the most is just how I can relate to what you're saying, but also how like liberating like it sounds.
Thank you.
And in our last episode, speaking about like church and like creativity and that. And for you, what's made you sound like so like? I don't say that Christian music is not normal. What's made you sound so normal? Do you get what I mean? Like,
Let's get a weirdo.
no, but what's
trying
made
to
you
say?
sound like normal in the sense of like relatable to like no matter if you're follow Jesus or if you just, that's not what you, like.
human
What's made
experience
what's
kind of
made
thing.
you so relatable?
I
to
think
artists?
good question. I think knowing that we all have stories to tell about our lives. So I grew up obviously listening to gospel music and a bit of like pop music and stuff and
Pop?
like Christian
What
rock.
kind- what's your
all of
favorite pop
that.
music?
Sharp left.
Yeesh, like you know, like remember like Blue, that boy band.
Ooh, no, Blue were cold though.
This guy.
Blue were cold though.
Okay, blue. Okay.
One
fine.
love. No, bang. What?
Bro,
Blue,
bangers.
you know.
Even I remember listening to like Lose Yourself by Eminem, like when I was in like school. I won't say what year I was in, but I would hear like different stuff in it. But like, yeah. But I think early on, just realizing what you only listen to a song and it speaks to you.
Yeah.
And I definitely get that listening to gospel. But I think I reached a point where I was like, I was listening to a lot of gospel music, and I see music like how I see film in that narrative. And a lot of people, no disrespect, but they can sing. They can sing about Christ, which is I'm here for, but it's like when you hear the same narrative over and over
Word.
again,
That's what you were
it,
saying
get-
last
it
episode.
can
Mac was saying
feel
that, yeah.
quite overdone. I don't want to say
Yeah.
boring. Like there's ways of making it fresh,
You can
but
say that.
sometimes it can feel boring. I say that with respect because I think there's an art to like creating that kind of music.
Yeah.
But there's a point where I just felt like
When it's the same thing from, it's not this a singular person's. They're not the problem.
that's it.
But when you're hearing the same thing from so many people again and again, it's
Bro.
like, guys.
Facts.
Surely
Yeah.
there must be another way.
And I'm like, if this was a
I think,
film,
sorry, just interrupt,
yeah,
like,
yeah.
same way, like even like in this like melodic like rap, where it's like you hear these rappers, they all sound like the same. Like, do you know what I mean? Like in that space,
Yeah.
it's like people get bored of that because
Or like
Yeah.
in R&B, like, you know when everyone was whispering. Respectfully, everyone's, ooh, your face sounded
I
this.
don't mind it.
Oh, I mean, it's great, but when it's like, when is someone just gonna give me a riff
Yeah. I hear it.
with like energy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
but yeah, you're saying.
So I think it's exclusive to other genres too. Not exclusive just to like gospel music.
Of course.
But
Yeah.
for me, I just felt like if I'm gonna take the microphone and rap, like what's gonna separate me from me and the next guy if I'm saying the same thing? So I'm like, if I'm gonna speak, let me actually talk about my life. And it took hearing people like there's an artist called John Gives, and
Yeah.
he was like, he's had faith, but he still was very honest about the struggle as well as the good things.
Yeah.
And I was like, raw. And even getting into poetry, looking at someone like George the Poet, he would just speak about life in London in the inner city and growing up. And that for me, I just pulled out my heart. I was like, wow, he's making these pictures so clear
Yeah.
about just life. And I'm like, that hit me. And I think going to open mics, performing at uni and seeing the effect it had on people, I was like, oh, how can I not talk about
Yeah.
my life and my story? So for me, it was always going to be faith-based with like my experience as a Christian and a believer in Jesus. But I felt like, how can I not? And even just looking at Jesus, he told stories. Like he literally used the narrative of society at the time and to tell stories about the kingdom of God. And someone said if Jesus was alive today, he'll be a filmmaker because he would literally just tell stories visually. So for me, that was the inspiration I needed to be like, it may not be accepted as much at the time, but I'm just going to speak about my reality. And from
Because
there, I went,
that is your reality. And I think the most authentic music is music you actually believe.
100.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it's, a lot of music these days is like, I don't believe he did that, or I don't believe he went through that. Do you know what I mean? And it's actually the best music is the ones that actually we can really relate and actually feel like raw, like, yeah, this actually real life. you
Yeah.
know? There's an artist, Maverick Sabre.
Right.
He actually interesting enough. So he did that song "I Need" and what's the other song he did as well? Let It Go, something like that. But basically, he actually had to re-release his what do you call it? His album
Okay.
because he made no money from it.
Oh.
Wow.
Yeah, recently.
Damn, he was broke.
No, like he didn't. Basically, I don't know how the industry works, but essentially he
Was
owed
he
them-
on the label
Oh,
or
he
something?
didn't- he
he was on the
recoup.
label. He owed them basically 100k.
I hear that.
okay.
That's on him still, but yeah, I hear it.
Ah.
No, as in if there was a contract, if there was a
Damn.
contract
Yeah.
in
But
place, then I hear it.
Not
He
you
was a
saying
young
rude.
boy.
Oh my gosh.
No, but as like if there was a contract in place, unfortunately, then I hear
Yeah.
it. But
He was,
that's unfortunate for him,
He,
though.
he was young, but he actually literally had to re-record it, and now he's
Wow.
in push up like.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so if you guys love Maverick, sorry, but whatever, listen
was
to his.
stream it. I hear it.
No, I can't lie, because
Yeah.
it's
Wait,
sad.
so he
that-
owns like.
He owns
does
a master
No,
Wow.
so he's literally recorded the songs all over
Like
again.
Taylor Swifted kind of.
Yeah,
vibe.
yeah,
Right.
yeah. To basically like get the P's back and that.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah. And in terms of like you, for example, like how has it been like financially as an artist? Like, what has that been like?
I can't lie, it's been tough, man.
Oh.
Like, what are you not gonna say?
but a lot of people want to hear that stuff though. Because
Nah,
it's
of
like
course.
it's a reality though, isn't it?
Yeah. So since I left uni, I think that's when I really knew I wanted to do music at uni, obviously. And even say that, I feel like I'm glad to be on this podcast because I've known all of you mans from back in the day, and to see you like separately do your artistic pursuits and then combine on this is like makes me gassed, honestly. So.
Power Rangers.
For real,
love,
the Mighty Morphin, the Rule of
love,
Thirds,
love.
honestly. So yeah, from there, but obviously, you know, I'm saying this music thing ain't cheap, so having to like grind. Or if I'm working with the homies, I'm about to see you guys on something. So it's like, I had to just get jobs, you know what I'm saying? Working retail to like working in the music industry to now working in like advertising and stuff. Like it's been a combination of doing these things to learn about the game and how to like be better at my craft.
Yeah.
Also just to pay for stuff,
Yeah.
mixing, mastering, visuals, all of that. So it has been a challenge. It has really taught me how much I'll say God has given me the like perseverance. Because when I started making music, I was like, God, I love this music thing, but like to sacrifice for it, that's not me. Like I love other things more. So I felt God has given me that strength over the years to just keep pushing. Because I feel like if it wasn't for that, I would not have. I would always do music, yeah, but I wouldn't do it as an
It
artist.
wouldn't be like your full.
Nah, like
time
I'll
thing.
create on the side, you know,
Yeah.
SoundCloud, all of that. But it's like to do it, to push it, it's tough. So, yeah, that's on God. But I feel like it's rewarding to see people respond to it. Like, you know, when you create something and someone's like, whoa, I resonate. And it's like, whoa. And especially when it's someone you don't even know. They don't owe you,
Nothing.
oh, hey, you're my friend, you're like, I like your music. And not to disrespect my friends who love the music. But I think, but sometimes, you know, it doesn't feel real.
Yeah, of
It's
course.
like,
Nah,
you
yeah,
have to
'cause
say that
you
because
ca-
you're my
yeah,
friend.
yeah,
There
yeah.
is like
Say
an
it.
emotional attachment anyway already
Yeah,
built.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I know you. I know how you struggle.
Yeah.
I've seen you grind.
You know what I
seen you
mean?
Studio. Yeah.
But at the same time, I've learned to like to appreciate the homies for real. But yeah, I think over the years it's been a challenge, but it's been cool to see how if you really like try, like God will come through, and it just helps you to see like the other side of things. Like it's more than about the money; it's about the impact, and like yeah, just creating stuff from the heart. I think if
Yeah.
anything, not having certain things has helped me to be like, I'm gonna just create what I really want to create and what I resonate with, and knowing that God, when it's my time to go, whoever comes after me and hears the art will hear what I really wanted to share.
Right.
So that's been a motivation as well, like seeing it not just for now, but for the next generation or whatever. So
That's a great perspective.
How important is the collaboration process for you? Especially because I think in your case, you've mentioned that sometimes there has to be like money involved. You have to pay for things, so on and so forth.
yeah.
Like how important is kind of like figuring out the balance of like, okay, cool, we can work together because I have to pay for a service, but also we can work together in different avenues that don't require that.
Collaboration with me is so key. Like I love collaborating. Collaborating for me is like gives me so much energy and juice because it's like being able to like combine our forces with other people who are sick. Like even again with you mans here, like all of you guys do incredible art, and having the privilege to work with some of you guys on certain things, and I know we'll do stuff soon. You know what I'm saying? So for real. I'm not even just saying.
Yo, Michael and Dave got an album coming out 2023. It's called Dave and Mike. You know, Angel Michael and King David. You know, it's coming. Be ready.
I'm not even just saying that. I'm saying it for real. Like I work with people who I'm a fan of.
Yeah.
So like even with yourself, June and Burns, like with stuff we've done over the years, it's like it's just come from the friendship first, I
Right.
think, and then being in the right place at the right time.
Yeah.
And perhaps I need something that you guys have that value in abundance. Like, cool, let's go. So yeah, and even the financial side of things, for me, I always still try and like honor people's craft and pay them for their craft. But I'm also realizing that it's important to have certain collaborative terms. That means that may not be money involved, but you're still giving each other value in terms of just the resources you're providing. So I think it is a hard balance, but I think communication is just key, and being real, like, this is where I'm at right now in life. This is what I can afford. This is what I can't afford, but let's try and do something here.
Yeah.
And seeing that over time, you can actually build really strong connections and friendships that will reap its own benefits just by virtue of you working together. So for me, collaboration has been so key. I wouldn't be here without collaboration on a level. So, and even just outside of like, let's go studio, bro, it's like having conversations. I remember being in your crib and then just chatting about you giving me gems about like the process and all that kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, so collaboration is more than just working on the art, it's also doing life. And I'm always trying to value like putting the friendship above the art as much as possible, and like making sure like the people are good and like just shouting people and stuff like that.
That point is mad. Just because I think as creatives, sometimes that becomes. I think we've spoken about it so many times where you be in a situation and you don't know if this person's not paying you.
Right.
Like, if the person's not paying you the right thing, you're like, is this even worth us having a relationship? Because like for years you've disrespected me, spat on my name. Like, and I think a lot of creatives in general struggle with figuring out that friendship,
Right. Yeah.
work balance, because sometimes it can get very, very blurred where you feel like you're being taken for idiot. You know what I'm saying? And then sometimes you're like, you know what? I really like this person. I love where they're going. And sometimes their craft alone can inspire someone to be like, you know what? I'll just do it. Just because I know what this is and how much I put into it.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of creatives find it difficult to kind of find that balance. So to put it on the other foot, if people come to you, which I assume a lot of people do, come and ask for like collaborations and stuff like that, how do you say no? Especially because you might like, I love this song, but nah.
Is this in terms of financially or just in general?
Just in general, because unless for features.
So I don't.
Hey, do you see it?
No.
If
But I'm not even. I don't think it's wrong to do that.
No, it's
of
not.
course
It's not. Charge your P, bro.
But for me,
But
like,
let us know how much. So.
but even on that point, to be fair, one thing I find interesting is how like as a like maybe a rapper or songwriter,
Right.
the paying people to do stuff is a bit more blurred than say design.
Of course.
Where it's
In
like,
what
because
way?
like if I'm gonna hit you up for artwork, like Burns will be like,
Yeah.
we did like that video a couple of years ago. I was like, oh, Burns, I need this.
10 bags.
Like, and you we kind of whatever the price and stuff. But if it's like, hey man, I need this verse, it's like, for me, a lot of people I work with are my friends.
Right.
So I don't feel weird to be like, yeah, okay, cool. Here's the invoice for that.
Speak to my
verse.
manager.
You know what I'm saying? I've had people hit me up that I don't know, and I was more inclined to like charge them, but I wasn't a fan of the music, so I just said no.
Right.
So for me, it's like if I know you.
But how do you go about that in the email, like for example?
So people are hitting me up for like say
Story wasn't
sending.
leading.
I don't say it like that. I've been real. I'll try and be honest as I can, but still be loving as I can.
Yeah.
So someone hit me up about some beats. I was like, hey man, like this can be improved this area. I wasn't really feeling it, but thank you. You know what I'm saying?
And then just completely shut it off.
Damn.
I just left it. The person didn't reply in it.
Oh, okay.
But then it depends on
it
depends on the relationship. Like some people, it's like you have to be careful not to like give a 10-point list of like this is everything that was trash about your beat. Like
you gotta show,
some people, if you have that relationship and you're working with them, it's easier to be like, hey.
bro,
Some things is just like I'm not in the space where I can create, and a lot of friends have had to be like, I can't work on this. I'm a bit busy with other projects, which is normally the main thing for me. I always try and collaborate where I can, but I'm realizing there was a year when I was doing a lot of collaborations because I had more of the energy. Now life is just life into the point where it's like,
I'm an album man now.
But I think, I'll be honest, it's hard. Sometimes it's hard if you don't like a song to be like, I wasn't feeling it. But I'm learning the value of it because I didn't get to where I'm at with people. Some people had to tell me like, Dave, this needs to be improved. This could be better.
Right.
So I feel like I owe that to other people as much as I can. So I try and keep it a buck when
I was even gonna ask you, how did you initially like navigate taking on critique?
Yeah.
Because I didn't tell you like, bro,
That verse.
That weren't it. Like, that's,
Sorry, bro, I'm taking the verse off. That would break your heart.
I had a situation where one time for a song that's out, I think I sent it to a friend.
song that's out now.
It's already out.
Okay.
I sent it to a friend.
the discography.
I sent it to a friend, and I think they were with a friend who I didn't know, and they were like big on like storytelling, and basically the friend gave me like a voice note of like what can be improved in the song.
I felt like I would have blocked your friend. What? A stranger?
No, listen. Strange me was a stranger, but it's like I appreciate it because he wasn't saying anything
very
like
it's a very
malice.
unbiased
No, but
opinion, I guess.
I
Yeah.
actually prefer that.
No, what?
No, but think about it. Your music's going out to the world, right?
But
Yeah.
imagine
To
how
get
vulnerable.
someone's- I know.
I
but
hear it.
Yeah.
I hear
Wait,
it.
Wait, did you feel
Yeah.
violated?
I didn't feel violated
Yeah.
at the time, but as time went on, I was like, oh damn, like it kind of like it was strong, but I took it on board, and it's helped me. I'm still working on that area, but it's helped me to be all right. This is the truth.
Right,
I want to
right,
be the
right.
best MC I
How
can be.
did
Like,
the friend? How did the person that sent it, not the
Yeah.
friend? How did they feel about the verse though?
Yeah, good question.
Yeah.
I'm not too sure. I forgot what they said
Or did
about
they
it.
channel it through
I think
the-
they liked it, but
Okay.
if they didn't like it as much, like I don't know. It
Mm.
wasn't like they were giving that it was trash. They just said like there were certain things that you could have done, like even just to explain a bit. At the time, like one thing of my cadence I worked on, it was just trying to be more expressive.
Okay.
This is like at the time I was a bit more monotone in my cadence.
Right, right.
So they're like, you need to be a bit more expressive with your tone. You need to like tell the story in a way that's more believable, etc. So it was like
That's good,
it was real
that's
advice,
yeah.
but obviously when it's come from someone you don't know,
Yeah, of course.
it's a bit
Yeah,
like
yeah,
oh.
man, come on, man.
But I just tried to take it for what it was. So it did sting, but I'm like, you know what? I'm grateful that I heard
But I think
it.
the fact that they're going out their way to send you a V and actually say, look, because they basically see the potential in you.
100.
Do you get
Or
what I
they're
mean?
just
Yeah.
cocky.
No,
They
but
think
to
they,
say,
they think they know about right.
no, but to say that, yeah, your
I
tone
figured
is.
it. That's why I keep it quiet.
No, but to say that your
Yeah.
tone is that, I feel that is very important in rap, though.
Yeah.
How would you feel if someone did that about your designs? Like,
would-
let's say, yeah.
Yeah.
let's
Why
say,
you pointing?
yeah. let's say you send your design to like, I don't know, one of us here. And then just a random person just sent you a whole bullet pointed, like they've even
Like
bold,
feedback.
they've made some words bold. Like,
Ah.
like, they've made some words bold. And they're like, and I'm like, Burns, this is not from me, this is from so and so.
No, first
You'd be
of
like,
all-
wow, I appreciate
First,
you so
first
much.
of all, I'll say, like, you brought the NDA, bro. Secondly, like, I feel like with designers, like, why are you sending me V1 amends? When you're not even the client, bro. Like.
But I think that's the thing, yeah. I think because Dave was saying something about how music, I suppose, is different from design sometimes.
Yeah.
Because like with this whole V1, I feel like we're used to having amends.
Yeah.
I feel like with rap, you put a verse down, you're like, this is it. This is the
Wait, how
sickest
many-
verse in
how-
the world.
How many like versions do you do that versions of songs?
That's a good question because
Oh, if
Oh.
exclusive.
This is the world premiere.
normally like I have my own internal like review process.
Okay.
You know how it is. You'll like be like, do I like this? Da-da-da-da-da. Do I get to a point like, so if I'm working on a collaboration, I'll share what I'm like. Okay, this is the best that I feel like I've got at the time.
Right.
I always give 100 when I'm working on stuff. So I don't like sharing like rough demos. Like unless it's with someone who I feel like they get my sound. But most of the time I try and record it,
Almost
send it to the person almost done. I normally like more time it's like, yeah, this is cool, let's go. I've had times where it's like, you need to change this. And it's happened recently, and I can't lie, like I was like, but now it's like, you know what, now I get it because of what the person wanted with their sound.
Okay.
I'm like, okay, I respect. You know what you want with your sound.
Right.
I see this as now a challenge to like, how can I creatively give my best in the way that works for you
Right.
and for me? So I try and see these things as challenges. But again, I would approach a song with somebody who I know I'm on the same wavelength with. So if you have some feedback for me, I know it's for the best.
Yeah.
You,
Sorry.
do you know what I'm talking about? But even if say like stuff we've worked on, even shout out Quay, like I remember working on stuff with him in the past, and he's like, you could do this a bit better. Try working on this part, and I'm like, cool, let me take that on board. So
Right.
I'm always trying to like learn. And even I'll be honest, sometimes I feel like do people not give me feedback because they don't want to like insult or like feel like they're overstepping. Because sometimes I feel like I've had to press for feedback for people because like people typically don't really. I'm not saying that people are not keeping it real, but
fear of people that know music.
my approach these days is like, let me approach people who I think understand music well, but also understand where I'm going with sound. Because I think some people have a good understanding of sound, but maybe where you're trying to go, it's just not for them.
Yeah.
So they're gonna be biased, and that's not wrong. I think it's helpful sometimes to hear the other end of the spectrum, because again, as musicians, you want to think about what you like, but also what's commercially viable. So sometimes I'll send stuff to like my siblings to be like, "Yo, what do you think about this?" Maybe not. They're not necessarily like into like my sound as much.
Yeah.
Right.
In terms of like, I love like alternative stuff, but to hear their perspective will help to feel like, okay, what does the general consensus feel like?
Yeah.
Other stuff I send to like people who I'm like, they're more rap heads because I want to hear their take on how I'm approaching things from a like rap perspective. So
Yeah.
it really depends on the song, but I do try and like get feedback and not just like send stuff out. Unless it's like a SoundCloud thing, I'm like, I'll do whatever I like for that. But yeah, it depends.
But and how do you differentiate the song that's just gonna go on sound? Because you've been dropping like a lot of demos sometimes on like SoundCloud,
Yeah,
and you're like, I'll finish this later,
yeah.
but they don't get finished. But
Coming from you, boy, that's a lot still.
Whoa! On your own pod. Kai.
You're getting cooked.
yeah, thank you very much, Dave Creates, for coming on the podcast. I think we're gonna end it here. What?
Yo.
So basically, what
You
Dave
kind
said
of
is
violated. I
that,
can't lie.
what you posted on Kente Club, you need to finish.
I can't lie.
Damn.
You
I love
violated.
what you're doing the flip thing though.
Damn.
Yeah, I love that. I
Thank
love
you,
that.
but this is not about me right now.
Damn.
But no, like
Damn.
Nah, okay. Nah, it's all love. Jude knows the vibes. innit?
Damn.
So
Jude is so vexed right now.
I can't believe this.
Jude inspires me. Nah, for real. Like,
No, Jude actually inspires. He inspires all
Dave!
of us.
What have you done?
He's waking up the beast.
I was gonna come with calm questions, but now you.
The pressure is.
Hey,
it's
No,
so-
but on the real though.
Right.
So in terms of like how do you differentiate a song that just goes as a demo? Even in my case, like I know for a fact that most of the songs I'll do, I don't feel like they're a song enough to go out into the world.
You don't feel. Or
I don't. I don't feel
Bro.
similar to what Dave would say about having that like your own critique system. Like,
Right.
do you
Do
know
you
what a
guys-
song is like? This is a song.
As musicians, do you guys ever feel like you're sitting on songs that are ready,
yeah.
and like they could actually? Okay, do you ever have the fear or like the idea in your mind that I'm sitting on a song right now that if I was to release this, my career could go to this level? Do you ever think
Bro,
that?
what Dave got the Drake feature?
Sync up. I do. Sometimes I get the fear of success as much as the fear of failure.
As in blowing.
Yeah, I think
feel
I've
that.
heard this discussed on this podcast before
Yeah.
about like what if I do make it and
What
it
if you do?
changes me.
Yo.
Oh, it
And
will.
but
Unfortunately,
for the worse.
It
What
probably
if,
will
what
as
if like,
well.
I become,
God forbid.
God forbid, of
no,
course.
but the thing is, like,
Because the thing is, some
your drive is
What,
gonna
what,
go.
what we're saying is realistically that it might, but hopefully it won't.
I mean, let's hope it doesn't, but there's more probability of it
Damn.
changing you.
That's the
for
thing.
worse.
Such a realist.
I don't want to say for the worst.
I'm praying for you, Dave. That will never happen.
Yeah,
Birds will be there
nah,
interceding.
Yeah,
Yeah,
for your
but-
sake, I hope it doesn't. But I feel like there's a high chance of it changing.
Do you know what? Looking and seeing people like your Kendricks, your Drakes,
Yeah.
Stormzy's and stuff like that, and how they've handled like mass success.
Right.
You see it, and it's sometimes it's like,
crazy, bro.
you know what I
It's a
mean?
lot.
You have more access to resources and stuff
Yeah.
like that. But then it's like that hunger, like what if the hunger goes? And
Mm.
sometimes I'll be real. Sometimes I'm like working 9 to 5. It's a hard balance, but I'm like, there's a certain level of inspiration that comes from that.
It keeps the grit there.
Bro, it keeps the
Yeah,
grit
because
there.
If you stop,
Sometimes I'm like, what if I get signed tomorrow and suddenly like I don't have to wake up in the morning at 9
Hey.
o'clock?
Yeah, you don't.
Like,
Because
bro,
you're sitting on enough music to just say,
yeah,
send this to the engineers,
bro.
and they'll mix it. You just sit home and go and do your shows.
For now, but what if all the songs are out now and now I've got to think of new stuff?
Yep.
Like,
that's
and
or
then-
I'm- you know what I'm
And
saying?
you start getting writers in.
Bro.
Yeah.
It's like, and I always want to be
Yeah.
authentic and like,
Yeah, because they may start changing your sound,
bro.
Yeah.
And to be real, some people you see it's help. Like even looking at say a Kendrick, like To Pimp a Butterfly came from him traveling and then like having that survivor's guilt and seeing the world. So that inspired something different. So I believe that if God can inspire me in this season, He will inspire me in the next season. That's what keeps me grounded.
I
But I
love
can't
that.
lie,
That's about-
a lot of the time it's hard. Like
Mm.
it's a bit scary. So
Yeah.
yeah, man.
Because I think one thing that I realized early on is that all musicians are selfish
In what sense?
in the sense that they don't make music for people, they make music for themselves.
I hear it.
So I think once I realized that, it made it easier to navigate it, because I think a lot of artists fool them, and hey, maybe it's just me, innit? But a lot of artists fool themselves in thinking, oh, I'm doing this for y'all.
Yeah.
But it's actually for them.
Yeah.
So
You know,
I
it's
think
basically
that survivors, not survivors, that Christ complex. I
Yeah,
suppose.
yeah. I think the best
That's the
artists are the
thing.
ones that, like you were saying, they speak about their authentic life.
Yeah.
And if a fan will basically be like, I can relate, so I'm a fan now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's what the best musicians do. You know.
But yeah,
But I was gonna say, I mean, with art in general, I guess like a lot of it's commercialized and stuff. Like it's for an audience or it's to like sell. How do you balance? Like you were saying, you're like thinking of being more commercial in your sound.
Yeah.
How have you balanced?
Commercial? What do you mean?
Yeah.
So
So
even
what
you
do
said
you
about-
mean by that?
okay.
I guess for you, for yourself, but also
What
how
do
do
you
you
mean by that?
balance that with like obviously you want to stay true to yourself.
Yeah, I think understanding what self is like. I'm more than just one sound.
Yes, can.
Because I feel like
not the whole time. I'm a multi-dimensional being. I can be here and there at the same time. My astral self can project all the genres.
Oh my days!
yo,
Can't box me in.
yo. No, I think at the start I felt like I'm a lyricist. Dave creates like that was my thing for like
yeah.
One Day I'll Fly. That project was more
Cold.
lyrical. Thank you.
See, innocent kid.
Yo, come on, man. But I think like growing from that, I realized, and then Ascension was more like I'm gonna make more upbeat music.
I love Ascension.
Thank
I love
you.
all your music, to be honest.
Cheers, bro.
Yeah.
Fan.
Sorry.
I was listening to a bit more of like Travis Scott and Drake, and I was like, what does that sound look like for me in like more for like a live setting? So that was that project, and then Amor is just more like, let me strip it back, let me do some more melodic R&B. But again, like part of the thing was accepting like I'm changing,
Right.
and I think at a point I was scared, like, but what if my OG fans, like, what if
Don't
they don't
like
like
those.
me
Yeah, I
anymore?
hear that, I hear
But
that,
at one
yeah.
point I had to be like, do you know what, this is life, man. There's certain artists I listen to, so I'm like an OG Hawkhouse fan.
Shout out to Hawk.
Shout out to Hawkhouse, man.
We need a documentary for that.
For real.
Just vanished off the. Anyway.
You know what I'm saying? But I discovered them after they stopped making music. And I think for them, it's like their music spoke to me with a particular sound. And sometimes I wonder, like, if they were still here today, they're going to sound different.
Of course.
And it's like, if that's for me still, cool. If not, fine. Even so, say more relevant, like Kendrick. There's certain stuff that he's done that appeals to me more. His newer stuff, not so much, to be honest. But I was like, that's okay. If his sound wants to change, like, he's doing it again. He's doing it for him. I can't come out here being like, no, you got to make music like To Pimp a Butterfly. It's like, that's not fair. Like, he's his own artist. So learning that if I can give artists that grace, I can give that same grace to myself. So that's helped me to like, be like, cool, I'm going to create what I want to create. Still listen to the listener. But as you said, like, realistically, make what you want to see.
Yeah.
And then believe that's going to hit the right people. So that's what keeps me grounded. In terms of commercial, like, I see Amor as my more, I don't say commercial sounding project, but out of my work is probably the more, certain songs are more, again, replay value, which lends itself more to, like, mainstream listening.
Sometimes the biggest replay value, in my opinion, is Take Me Back.
You think?
What?
You just love that one personally. I feel like the
No,
biggest
I'm
one's
s-
Are You Down? Are You Down is...
No, Are You Down as well? No, but Are You Down, you know what is? It's weird because Are You Down came out before Amor.
Yeah.
It was a
I
single
mean-
for a reason.
But it came out months before.
Okay.
So, like,
a year almost before.
Yeah, a year. So that Are You Down was, it's weird because Are You Down, even though it's part of
You feel like it's his own thing?
it's his own thing.
Yeah.
Right.
I think Take Me Back, because I was listening to Take Me Back for the first time,
Yeah.
I was like, raw, like this actually like.
And
you know
even
what
on that point, you said something about how to know what's a demo, what's not. Take Me Back was a demo. Like, I put that on, like, I made it specifically. I wanted to put like a reel on Instagram of just songs I'm working on.
I see.
So I just I was like, let me quickly make something. So a lot of my songs I think I love the most. I've not really spent too much time on it.
Demo eyes.
So I quickly just wrote it one night, quickly like found a beat on SoundCloud, shout out to K Caleb, recorded a little demo, put it on Instagram the next day. And then people were like, oh, this is pretty cool, you should use it. I was like, yeah, whatever. I wasn't really planning to use it. And as I was putting the project together, I felt, oh, this song has a certain like the outro kind of vibe to it. Let me try and work on it more.
Very outro, yeah.
So I think for me, I don't know the line. I think I like to just work on stuff and not care about what's going to happen to it. And those ones sometimes be songs that I actually really love, like, say, Transform. Even Are You Down, Wavy Walk, shout out to bro. He just sent me the beat one night, cooked it, and then, like, it wasn't, like, a long process. But I find, I don't know, some songs I work on, I know this is going to be a single or whatever. Other songs are just, like, it's just for fun. Like, shout out to the man them, like, we just be cooking stuff.
Yeah.
And then you're like, oh, actually, this could actually work. So I think I love that about art, that you don't always know. Like, no one has a monopoly on knowledge like that. Things that you feel are throwaways, someone's like, oh my gosh, like, drop that song. Even with a lot of our favorite artists, when they, like, drop like teasers sometimes, or them in the stew cooking. It's like, release it. And for them, it's just like, oh, it's just nothing. But you don't always know how much your art means to certain people. So I think for me, I have this stance of like, let me know what I stand for, but be open to know that certain things I might not think much of, someone might actually need that, and let that kind of help my process, which comes back to having people around in my circle that I can send stuff to, who can kind of be like,
how important is the man them? How important is your team to you? Because I know like there's a lot of artists, for example, that they've got like their squad. Yeah. Like I think about even a young coming like Central C, for example, and like his boys, and you got Stormzy with like the Murky team, or even if you go to America, you got like Kendrick and the PG Lang, or like you got like these different collectives. Like, how have you built your collective, if that makes sense? How have you built like the man them essentially?
That's great. I think for me, it's just going through life, and like some of it's intentional, some of it's just allowing life to happen. So even say me and Jude, I think like I worked with you from like pretty much everything I put out. And some of it was just being in the right place at the right time. Yeah. Of like, oh, I know this guy who does artwork. Let me hit him up for artwork. Not this.
That's all you were to him.
Damn.
You were more than that, Jude.
You're hurting me this episode, man. I can't lie.
It's so love. But you know what I'm saying? And then from there, it's like a friendship evolves as well as like the craft. So, but then after a point, I was like, nah, I really vibe with this guy on more than a music level. Right. Let's continue. And again, for me, trying to keep the friendship at a central place as much as possible. Other people, like I love working with different producers, so I've never had just one producer, but I've had people that are more around a bit more, that we're able to work on certain stuff. So I can't say it's always been intentional, but I think just praying and asking God to just bring the right people around me. And when I see those people, I'm like, okay, cool. We've built an understanding, looking at people like Drake and 40, Soundwave and Kendrick, or Missy and Tim, and like how they didn't get to where they were by accident. They had to intentionally build a partnership over time. So my stance is trying to work with my people there more and build that over time, and knowing that will reap its own fruit. So now I'm more intentional about trying to work with my people them like more, and just have that, not a close circle, but like have it a bit more contained and just let that grow. Because I think we see like even like Dreamville and what Cole's doing, it's like there's a certain fruit that comes from that.
But at what point did your mind change from, okay, I'm going to just try with everybody, to, okay, hold on, I might have to start to...
I think when I was trying to start thinking about cutting costs, like, for real, I don't mean that in like a...
No, that makes sense.
Trying to be like whatever, but in that, just trying to be more... Sustainable, 100%. And looking at, again, movements that have happened before us, and it's like, there's something like working in a certain group of people, and... money is important, but not focusing too much on like how much I got to pay for this. It's like just let the art breathe, let the art be, and like let that take care of itself. And I think that's helped me to now be more like, it's just helped my mindset switch a bit more from like, oh, I've got at least this beat. So someone sent me something, let's work on that. And after that, we can discuss about what it looks like on the financial side of things. So not neglecting that, but like not letting it be. But again, I recognize not everyone can be in that position. And I think because I've been able to build friendships with a lot of people, it's a lot easier to do that now. But at the start, I had to do what I could to like go online and find producers and whatnot. So it depends on the person, really.
That's interesting.
And even out of that space, obviously, I think in conversation with you, like you're starting to get into this producer bag. Do you feel that's become because of that, the cost of living thing, or like?
Well, man's trying to bake his own beat so he doesn't pay. Yo,
no, but legit, like, what is it?
It's violation. We call you broke.
Why trying to get it back for?
Man trying to stir the thing, bro.
I wants to do this rap battle online. Let's go. Run the beat, in fact. I'm joking. I'm joking.
Imagine. But yeah, what's inspired you to start producing, and how's the process been?
Yeah, so my first, like, me in music at first was like playing the drums at church, and I was like 8, getting onto the keys when I was a teenager. So I've probably technically been producing or making music before I started writing. Even when I remember when like dubstep was a thing. I remember going on YouTube for like tutorials. The first thing I made was like on my dad's garage band. I tried to make some dubstep beats. Defo sounding trash. But that was like my first experience of producing. Then I stopped, and I didn't start again until my boy got me FL Studios during uni.
Legally? Never mind.
he gifted it to me.
Right.
I bought it since. Don't worry, I've got it since. But and I was like, this is so crazy. How do I use this? No, I had was it Audible? No, what's that?
Audible.
I know what you're talking about, but I can't remember what it's
Oh,
called.
No,
Audacity.
Audacity.
That's it,
Mad.
yeah,
I had that
It's
for
the sound wave.
that's what
You
I
made
used.
music on that.
I used to record on that, so not
Oh,
produce,
wow.
but just
Makes sense.
record because I didn't have nothing to do.
Yeah.
But then my boy gave me FL. I learned the software. I started producing. But again, I've always been in and out of production. But I think after I remember I was working one year, I stopped working. I was like, let me just get back into production. I just spent time, not really like I was ever in it properly, but I just made beats here and there. I just love like putting sounds together. I love sampling. So I just did that for fun. And then from there, some songs came on the project. So producing just came from a love of just sound. I just love like, when you hear a sound and you put another sound with it and it just gives you an emotion purely off of that. And I've always loved looking at producers like Soundwave, Wonder Girl, like 40, and just how they're able to like bring a certain emotion that words can't give. And that's always been a thing of like, how can I create a beat that just hearing the beat makes you feel. And even like Sango, Soul Action, getting into that around uni as well. I just fell in love with just instrumentals.
I think their man, they should just sound and just like. I think for them, Selection is like, what I love about them is that they create a community around sound. If that makes sense. So like literally, the one thing I love about music is that you may never understand what they're saying. Because Selection is funny because they'll be playing like Brazilian music or like Portuguese or Sango, especially.
It's about the feeling, innit?
But it's about the feelings, about the joy or maybe like the mood or whatever it is. But it's like it creates a community.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Sure.
I was going back to ask about the point because I think it was Jojo from Recess who he made I think it was a tweet or an Instagram post saying how if organizations or groups join together, they would make more of an impact as opposed to doing the same things
standalone.
Right. Go on.
I hear that. My other point is that sometimes it's good to have like variation. Because even so, looking at the Christian hip hop community, for those who don't know,
that was what I was going.
In America, like shout out to like the likes of Lecrae, but typically his label, Reach Records, is like an amazing label that's inspired me with a lot of music over the years. They like almost like have a monopoly on the sound in a particular way. So yes, there's one person doing it in terms of one label, but it's almost like, to be honest, sometimes you see a lot of artists like make their sound to sound like that because
to fit on the label,
to fit on there or to get more popularity.
So it's almost like a portfolio to get onto the label.
In a way, or portfolio to like
not spec work
to be bigger in the scene. Which again, I'm not like knocking them. I think they're a great label, but if there's not a lot of variety, it just people kind of lean towards what's popular,
which is the problem.
Naturally, like I guess. It's like, you don't want to stick out like a sore thumb as well for some people because it's like, audience, are they gonna listen? Are people really gonna vibe? So starting off, you're probably gonna wanna align with it.
Of course.
Yeah.
Okay. So if that's the case, then what does it look like for you ideally?
Yeah.
Because obviously, I think we have these conversations about how the Christian scene sometimes it's a bit stale, so on and so forth. But I think with acts like yourself and a few others as well, there's kind of like we haven't lost hope. Basically, there's hope. There's hope. There's hope of like, okay, it can be done.
For sure.
It's just that people aren't perhaps willing to push themselves to that limit because it comes with a lot of pushback. People might hate it in the beginning. They'll be like, "What are you doing? Oh wait, hold on, you didn't say Jesus in this song. How dare you?" That kind of thing. How does it look ideally for you in a place where maybe perhaps the next generation will feel comfortable to be like, I can be a Dave Create or I can be a version, I guess.
I think it's infrastructure. I feel for me, ideally, is having the Reach Records, is having like these big labels, but also having like the more niche ones that support the alternative sounds, that support the non-traditional sounds, so that people can be like, I'm gonna take a risk and make this style of music because people out there vibe to it. I've seen it. You know what I'm saying? I think some artists, you're always going to be headstrong and make what they want to make. Yeah. Some artists are going to probably shy away from that and do what's popular because they feel like it's more acceptable.
Of course.
But I feel like if there was more, if it's labels, especially say in the UK, labels, publications, YouTube channels, and more are coming now, which is great, but more events that celebrate the different sounds, I think it give people a being like, okay, I can fit in here. I might not be for that space, but I can fit here. Because sometimes I found like, again, when I was doing more, say, spoken word, based like lo-fi hip hop, there wasn't a lot of spaces for that. I felt like I had to make
Yeah.
more youth group music,
Oh,
and that wasn't.
okay.
And respectfully to that, I think there's a
Yeah.
there's a space for it. We need that, but I think in the UK, you know what I'm saying, the UK leans
They make bangers though.
more.
Alright,
Yeah. The UK leans more to that.
Right.
Maybe it's changing now, but typically it's lean more to that.
Yep.
So if you don't make that kind of music, and I've had conversations with myself like, damn, I got to change my sound to fit that. And I'll be real, Ascension, in a way, was that me trying to make music, which I still love that project, but trying to make music that has more mass appeal.
So
That-
that was more mass appealing, to be very honest.
Essentially had
Yeah.
Thierry.
Yeah, all three Thierry on
That
it.
was harder, yeah.
Oh,
But it was songs that I felt like I could perform at like
Right.
an event
Right.
where I couldn't really perform one day. I would
Mhm.
fly kind of vibe. So again, I don't think it worked out negatively for me, but I do feel there's artists out there who want to take risks, but it's just the feeling of like, but is it
Where's
gonna
it
be
gonna fit?
accepted?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And then when you're an
Continue.
when you're an adult and you like things are tight, taking a risk is hard.
Yep.
Because it's like I might
Yeah,
spend
to
this
play it
bag
safe.
and
Yep.
not get it back.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have to think about like your ROI because
100. And bro,
Facts.
art is like, it's not.
yeah.
Mag knows what I'm talking about. So
Like you can't think of it. Art, you shouldn't really be thinking of it that way, but because the world that we live in,
Bro.
Nah, we
unfortunately,
shouldn't.
Yeah.
So anyways,
Everything counts.
we should spend a bag and not care if we get it back or not.
that's
Wouldn't
the
that be nice?
That's the
That'd be
ideal situation.
But unfortunately,
But capitalism said
cost
no.
of living.
This is why
Brexit
I always
economy.
advocate for what do you call it, self-sufficiency in that particular, especially when it comes to art.
Yep.
And okay, we were speaking earlier in the last episode about like how I was saying that the spirit of the arts is gone, hence why art has become a bit. It's in a different space now. Now it's like quick art. People can go. You don't really feel like you don't feel as much anymore. And obviously, that's where time is going. It's getting worse and worse. And obviously now the internet is the source of inspiration. Everyone goes in there and be like trying to figure out. Whereas before, you might have been sitting down in your room in the dark with a fan going, trying to figure out, wow, like why am I here? And all this
Sounds
kind of
like
stuff.
Ghana, bro.
I like like our attention spans as well. Like
Yeah, exactly. So
3 seconds.
so with all of that,
Yeah.
how do you feel? Because obviously with your music, like Burns was saying, like there's a lot of vulnerability in there, and you're being real to a high degree in comparison to other songs. Because a lot of songs are very third person, or like you should, we could, and never I am or I am going through, and so on and so forth. So how do you feel like you kind of like put your emotions into the music in a very vulnerable position to the point where, apart from the financial spend, the emotional spend that's in the art itself, because most of the time you don't get that back.
I'll be honest, I think it comes from like devotion, like spending time with God. I think I always again try and put that above everything else. So my approach with God is just like being honest. I've been challenging myself to like stop pretending with God and stop like hiding how I really feel, because I feel like it's easy to just be like, God is good, like or like, oh, I'm not great today, but we'll get better. We'll get better tomorrow.
There's nothing in that, man.
You know what I'm saying? I'm
Toxic
like,
positivity.
fam, and I think growing up I was naturally, I don't say naturally positive, but I always leaned to just being optimistic.
Right.
But then life started hitting me, and then it's like,
I do this no more. Damn.
but I still
I
had,
think adulting takes your faith to a new level.
bro,
You're a lot more real.
Yeah.
bruv,
Because you have to be.
bruv,
Can't be that delusional when
bruv.
there's bills to pay as well. Is it?
Is it really, bro?
So with that, I'm just like, I started journaling early on in my spoken word days of just like journaling, not to like rhyme, but just to like, this is how I feel, put it on a piece of paper. And I think the more I did that, I was able to be real in my rhymes, because there was no filter now. I'm being real. And I feel like sometimes when I create, I try and create what I think I should create, but I've not first addressed what's actually in my heart.
Ooh.
So
You're going preach.
So what's in your soul?
it's in your soul. And I feel like as I'm still learning, because every season has new challenges. But as I'm able to just express to God, like, this is how I really feel, it's then, like someone said about writer's block, and sometimes I feel like maybe you're not writing what you're meant to write.
Ooh.
Maybe if we address the actual elephant in the room, the creativity will flow from that point.
Trying to say that they're being avoidant.
Mad.
Potentially. I'm not. I mean, you know what I'm saying.
Might be a therapist.
No, for real.
got me in the heart.
Wow.
But I've found for myself, the more I'm just able to just be honest
Mm.
with how I'm really, really feeling with God first, it's easy. I'm not saying it always works and I produce hit songs all the time, no. But it's like, it helps me to be more vulnerable in the art. And even like not even fear embarrassment. Because even more, I can't lie, I was like, damn, I'm singing on this project about my love life. That's,
I don't know why I see some parallels with the Stormzy project.
you know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Because he,
Stormzy copied, obviously. You got inspiration.
yeah,
I hear it.
exactly.
100%.
Yeah, you got to inspire the youth. Yeah.
Yeah, it's that thing of like, yeah, man, I gotta be vulnerable. But it's true though. Like, I think it gets to a time, especially as creators, where I think we become better creators when we're actually just real with it. Like, you can't be spending time praying to God and you're just saying, so good, you're so good. Sometimes you might not even feel like God is good.
Yeah.
Look at Psalms.
Listen.
You know what I mean?
Yo.
And it's like,
Yeah, there was a few-
but the thing is, nothing is
Passive
too,
aggressive.
No, for
nothing
real.
is too scary for God. Or, do you know what I mean? Like, so it's
100%.
like you can share how you feel, and ultimately, if you are following Jesus, these tracks should even encourage you.
Yeah.
Because we can't, fam. Some psalms contradict the Bible, bro.
Do they?
No, like
Talking
legit.
about like just the darkness of life.
Yeah.
And just, you know what I'm saying?
Do you know what I mean? Like,
Mhm.
I mean, Ecclesiastes talks about how our life is meaningless,
Mm.
but
It is, but- Sorry. That was dark.
subject. But again, like,
Yeah.
life is not. Everything has a meaning. Everything has a purpose.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So things can contradict each other, but ultimately, the more real we are, the better art we're going to create. The more
Therefore,
free we can think,
For
and I think
sure.
ultimately, is about really just. I think the deeper we go in our thoughts, emotions, and just, again, I was about thinking in the last episode,
Yeah.
like that's when we start to create the real and authentic art that can go, beyond generations.
Yeah.
Facts.
Just
Yeah.
lastly, Dave, for those who are listening, especially I'm assuming musicians or people who are creative in general, like what advice? I know it's like a corny thing that a lot of people ask, but I think it's very important because a lot of people are, I wouldn't say they're mirroring your journey, but more so they're parallel to your journey in the sense that they're
Yours.
also on their own journey.
Yeah.
And
You're a trailblazer,
and, you
bro.
know what I'm saying?
Bless,
And a
man,
lot of things
bless.
that you might have gone through might inspire someone who might be in that particular space to kind of be like, oh, okay, it is actually doable.
Yeah.
So what advice would you say you have?
Oof, there's a much. I feel like what I say right now is probably two things. One is enjoy it.
Mm.
Like, and again, I think this links into what we were discussing earlier. Sometimes I have a fear of like, if I enjoy my life more, I'm gonna have less to say in my art because I think my art leans
Interesting.
more to like,
So you need to suffer more.
What, as in like
No,
not negative, but
just
like
live life.
yeah, because I think some of my art, say One Day I Will Fly in particular, that was more about the struggle, going through the struggle.
One
I'm
day
like,
I will fly.
you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
what if I'm actually flying and now nothing to say? Now?
yeah,
But then not being, I feel like, I didn't say life should come before the art. So like, enjoy your life. Let the art come after that. Obviously, it's integral. Don't neglect it, but like, enjoy life. Like, make good memories. Sometimes I feel like I've sacrificed a lot for music, but I feel like, could I have done more to actually just enjoy certain things? I don't know. It's that whole thing of like putting in 10,000 hours, but still have time for other things. I don't know the balance, but I'd also say, like, don't be afraid to let go. In terms of like, in terms of like, if you got a demo you like, send it to somebody. Like, if you have a song you think is nearly done, like, share it with somebody. Like, creators, we love the hood, and I'm therefore one of them. So I'm not even pointing fingers. I'm saying for me, but it's like you never know.
They're mad there.
They're mad there.
Can't like all of us in the world. So I don't know why you guys are trying to point
the call is coming from all the houses. Spider-Man means.
But yeah, like, I mean, you won't always get it right, so don't stop trying to be perfect. I'm thinking to myself, like, it's okay, like, it's actually okay. We'll look back on these days and actually maybe laugh, maybe cry, but it's like, at least you lived and you gave it everything. So, yeah, man.
Wow.
That's all.
We live the life.
Boy.
I love that.
Quick fire round. What's everyone's favorite Dave Creates song?
Wow. Wow.
I have a personal like spot in my heart for Innocent.
Now, let
Kid.
me go.
Okay.
There's something about that song, and I wish
yeah,
it would
yeah.
be re-released even.
Oh.
There's
That
something about
was,
that song
yeah.
that is
Oh,
so
gosh.
beautiful.
Yeah.
It's just the storytelling, and I can see it vividly anytime I listen to that song.
Yeah.
Like I can just see it. Shout out to Banky.
Shout out to Banker.
Yeah.
Shout out
That
to-
was.
Please come back, Banker. wherever
Yeah,
you are. Come
please.
back.
When we needed her the most, she just Avatar. Yeah, like But yeah, I think that might be my favorite one. Anyway.
Love, bro.
What about you, Michael? Well, Burns is struggling because he has a lot of favorites clearly.
For me, I feel like Dave might even know.
I know you're gonna say it.
What's called? One Day I Will Fly. No, it's called Clark Kent 2.0.
Yeah,
Wow,
yeah.
not One Day I Will Fly. But like, I honestly feel like that's like my life.
Yeah, what the one day you will fly?
No, like that whole like contemplating like the future and wanting like to pursue something so bad, but then you look around you and you're like, my reality is not necessarily speaking to my dream, but I still have these dreams. And I remember the first time I listened to that song, I was in the overground.
Damn, when the tears started rolling down.
Yo, it's like a movie.
No,
on my way to like Surrey Key Station, on my way, like, let me not be telling people my business. On my way to a friend's house.
Yeah.
And like, I was just there like, whoa.
It's deep.
It's really deep. And I listened to that album, like, we did some stuff for work, and that, the B3 One Day I Will Fly album. Right?
Yeah.
Is it called One Day I Will Fly?
One Day I Will
It
Fly.
is.
It was actually gonna be called B3, but I switched the name to One Day I'll Fly.
I remember it on the artwork, so I was like, ooh. And then Obi
Yeah.
says, you said B3. And I was
Yeah.
like, okay. Nice play.
He's a wordsmith, a lyricist. Deep.
Shout out to the introvert Jay as well. 'cause
Shout out to
shout out to
Jay.
him. See,
Hey,
another one.
shout
Please come
out
back.
to the introvert.
She's just
Shout out
in
to
one
introvert.
village somewhere.
Living her life.
Not for real. But like, yeah, I think that whole like EP, but I'd call it EP
yeah.
as well as like that song. Wow.
Wait, that was
Thank you.
Isaac Hope's on that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
shout out to
yeah,
Isaac
shout out to
Hope.
Isaac.
I was
as
a
well.
ghost. Yo.
Isaac Hope.
He's come back. I mean, he
I
dropped
mean,
something
yes.
recently.
Yeah.
But come
But
back.
he's-
Come back
yeah.
for real.
Fire. Shout out to Broski.
Honestly though, like seeing you from like
Tough.
uni days as well
Hey.
to now, like
I always
Bless,
knew you would
bro.
do well.
Wow.
What, did you know one day he would fly?
I knew one day he would ascend.
Anyway.
Oh my God. But for it's difficult. I can't really have one. I feel like it changes with season. I think Breaking News was like
That was the first song that me.
I think that's when I
worked
knew
on.
something.
Yeah,
I
that was.
think that's when I knew you would be special.
Wow.
I think for me, I was like, this guy's different.
I hear it.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Breaking News was the one was that like, okay, this guy's
It was a mini moment as well, like within
was.
like everybody
Yeah.
within like
Yeah.
I think that's why that project was. We were all in the process.
Yes.
And I think that's why for us it's so integral because I remember so vividly like where I was when like all the songs.
Yeah.
Like I just remember everything. I feel like that project really like, and I love the new project. Because I feel like Amor is someone's One Day I Will Fly.
Right.
That's good.
You know,
That's deep.
and so is Ascension as well.
Mm.
I feel like these are like very like all your projects mark moments in your life,
Yeah.
but also impact people's moments in their lives. Like
Wow.
Michael was saying about how he felt so emotional about
Mm.
Clark Kent 2.0. So
Mhm.
like yeah, definitely
Gee.
moment making music.
For real.
I was about to say something wild over there. But yeah.
Also, Dave, have you got like a favorite?
Yeah.
Wow.
Probably hard to ask though.
Do you know what? Again, like I think every season has a different favorite. I think, yeesh. It's hard. I think, like, say, I think the song I listen to more so now is probably like "Are You Down?" 'Cause it's just like it's just a nice vibe.
Yeah.
I like this Playboy.
But I think like sometimes when I'm thinking about, it just depends, man. I feel like Breaking News, there was a time where like, and even how that song came about was that studying at uni and studying about war pain and all of this kind of stuff and stuff.
The lyrics?
Bruh,
I said, woo.
bless. I don't know. I think right now, it's probably unreleased music, I'll say.
Oh, don't do us like that, man.
Okay, but in terms of,
I hear it.
in terms of what's out, bro, I don't know, man. Like,
You're your babies. I hear it.
even like, I think a Sunrise from the project featuring El Marie. Because again, that song's just about.
That was a good song. Actually.
Thank you.
That's a great song.
So I produced that, and I feel like some of you have a connection to songs that you produce, and like just the thing of letting go.
Yeah.
I feel like that's the message I need in my life right now. So probably that right now, I'd say.
I've got one like game to wrap up the episode.
Hey, Game Master, go on.
Or guess the song in it. Whoever's gonna get it right then, cool.
Okay.
3, 2, 1.
I feel like Gotham.
Yeah, Gotham. Yeah.
Hey, let's go.
Wait, what's the bloody title?
It's Gotham.
It's
bro.
Gotham.
1-0.
It is Gotham, right?
Alright, so
Yeah.
1-0 to
Gotham
Mac.
featuring.
Oh wait, we're getting
Dave.
points.
Dave's not playing.
I can't play.
Why not?
It's his music.
I know the
bro.
mark.
He might not remember. He might be like Lil Wayne and be like, yeah, I don't know why I wrote that.
Too many verses.
Okay.
Yeah, too many verses. Yeah.
3, 2, 1.
Oh, this is the one with the money. Wait, hold on. Surf?
That's it.
Correct.
Yes.
It's correct.
1-1.
Yes.
Alright,
Correct.
we're gonna have 3 more, yeah.
Okay. Oh my gosh.
In the Sea Kid. That's my favorite. I definitely know that intro.
I'm busy trying to like sing lyrics.
Alright, let's get a bit harder.
Oh, that's from. Is that for a new project?
It could be.
Oh.
No, it's not the one I thought.
I knew he's wrong.
Should I give him a clue?
Yeah, please.
It's to do with like Marvel. And
What, Clark Kent won?
No, it's
and
Marvel.
and Thor.
Oh, sorry.
and,
Wow.
um,
That's
Oh,
embarrassing.
what was the one with the snap?
Thanos.
Yes.
It's called Infinity.
called
Infinity.
Infinity
Stone.
Stone. Yeah.
That's
Infinity.
amazing.
No. It was coming to me.
Nah, so it's still 2-1.
Well, you don't give me that point.
No one's getting that
Bruh.
point.
Bruh.
Okay.
Oh. Do you know why it's so stressful? Yeah, because I know the songs. Wait, play it again. The artwork is a fist.
Yes, that is right.
Oh, it's on the tip of my tongue.
It's funny because June designed all this art.
You know what's stressing me out?
This ain't fair.
Yeah, I know.
Kinfolk.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's it.
And last one, I guess you've already won, but for the culture.
I'll let Michael have it.
Don't do that.
Take me.
Yeah, let's go.
To me
Let's
back.
go.
I'll let you have it.
To me back.
But Dave, it's been a pleasure to have you on.
Hey, it's been a
honestly,
pleasure
honestly.
to be
Yeah,
here,
man.
guys. I appreciate you guys. I just to say, like, you man's honestly inspiring me. I'll be scrolling through my gram and seeing fire when you guys post. I'm not just saying that. Like, honestly, the work rate, the way you guys like push the boundaries. Like, honestly, each one of you like just push the boundaries. And I'm sitting here like, damn, I gotta go to the booth and do something crazy. So you guys are definitely a part of the reason why I'm doing what I'm doing. So I respect you, man. Still.
I mean, yeah, we aim to inspire, and obviously, yo, but yeah, thank you to Dave. Dave, where can they find you if they're looking
Yeah,
for you?
man.
You can find me at I am Dave Creates. That's I am Dave Creates. Not gonna spell that.
You almost flopped.
Yo, that's on Instagram, Twitter. I'm on Spotify, Apple Music. Just search Dave Creates, all one word.
No spaces.
That's right.
Lovely,
That's
lovely.
right. Lowercase as well.
Lowercase.
The brand.
That doesn't mean he's a lowercase.
Wow.
Sorry, I'm not a rapper on this podcast. Anyway, thank you for listening.
Yes. And see you in 2023.
See you in 2023.
Wow,
Yeah, man.
Peace.
Happy New Year and that.
Merry Creamers.
Official. Thanks, guys, for tuning in to today's episode of Rule of Thirds. Feel free to share your thoughts with us using the hashtag Rule of Thirds Pod. And for more from us, follow us on Instagram at Rule of Thirds Pod, or our personal accounts for myself, Burns JNR,
Mike at _ man like Mike.
And Jude at Kente Kwame.
Catch you guys in the next one.